Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the MetaStellar YouTube channel. My name is Maria KOROLOV, and I'm the editor here at MetaStellar. And I'm here to talk about the #1 best-selling free speculative book on Amazon today. And it's got an alien baby found on a derelict spaceship. But hold on. Before we get to that, we've got 9 other books to get through on today's top 10 list. You see, every single Friday, the team here at MetaStellar reads the first few chapters of every sci-fi and fantasy book on Amazon top 10 free ebook list. This week, MetaStellar editors Alex Korolov, Amira Lutfi, and Melody Friedenthal helped out, as well as community members ROMEL MADRAY and TERRENCE Smith, who's our fiction editor. And they are both here with me today. So, hey guys, thanks for coming. Welcome back to the show. Okay, so today's top 10 list features an alien invasion, a zombie apocalypse, magical druids, and a carpenter's apprentice with no magic whatsoever, or so he thinks. And the link to the full article and the links to all the books are in the description box below. For those who don't know or who are new to this channel, MetaStellar is an online magazine of speculative fiction. All the content is always free to our readers. We publish original short fiction, reprints, excerpts, essays, and lots of book reviews like this one. We are able to do this and keep our content completely free thanks to our Patreon supporters. We love you guys. You know who you are. Thank you. And our first anthology is also out in the bookstores. Both print and electronic forms are available from all major retailers around the world. So check it out. The link is also in the description box below. We're working on our second anthology now. Woohoo! Okay, so let's get started with the books. The book that's number 10 on today's list. Here we are. The Ancients by Nathan Hystad, the 4th of 21 books in the Survivors, an alien invasion series. The other books are between $1 to $5 each, but they're all in Kindle Unlimited. And today, the first 9 books in the series are all free, and books 10 through 20 are all on sale for 99 cents. Book 20 was just released this week, and book 21 is due out next October, but is available for pre-order. And since books 1 through 9 are all free, a lot of these books made the bestseller list today on Amazon. 4 of them making the top 10 list. This is a really popular series. And book 1 is also free today, but it's further down on the list. It didn't make one of the top 10 spots. Alex Korolov read this, and he read book 1 to avoid spoiling it for himself, because this is his kind of genre of book, and he figured if he liked it, he'd want to stick with it, and he doesn't want to ruin it for himself or for you guys. So he read the first book in the series, The Event, and that book is also linked down below. And get them while they're free, because the books that are free don't often stay free for long. Publishers make them free as a promotion and then take away the free promotion really quickly. And that actually has already happened to one of the books on this list. But between the time we started writing the article and the time we started taping, the book came off the free list. So that was kind of sad, because you guys don't have a chance to get it. But you can buy it, or you can wait for it to come around next time. But anyway, The Ancients by Nathan Hystad is book 4. Alex read book 1, The Event, and the story is set in the present-day United States. And it starts right out with telling you that the ships came at dawn. The ships being alien spaceships.
I'm not saying it's the aliens, but it's the aliens.
It's the aliens. So at first, our protagonist, Dean, thinks it's a hoax, like a world-to-world type hoax, because he hears it on the radio. But then he turns on the television, and it's all over the airwaves, and he looks out the window, and he can see 6 alien ships right from his house, and in the distance, he could see a huge black box hovering over New York City, even though New York is 100 miles away. And then he remembers something. his wife years ago told him that there was a pendant he had to wear when the aliens arrive. She's since died, and the pendant is in a storage unit somewhere. And he's like, oh my God, this is what she meant. How could she know? But anyway, so he has to go find this pendant. And so she died of something like tuberculosis, and she warned him on her deathbed that the aliens were coming and that he must wear the pendant when they arrive. So Alex says this is a great start to the series. He's anxious to find out what's going to happen next. Who are these aliens? Why are they here? What's their plan for humanity? So he's going to be sticking with it. Next, we have Unleashed by Dirk Patton, the first of 19 books in the V-Plague apocalyptic series. The other books are $4 to $6 each, but they're all in Kindle Unlimited. For those who don't know, Kindle Unlimited is where you pay $10 a month and you read all the books you want. It's a really great deal. It's like a Netflix for books. I love it. I'm a member because I read a lot. So Alex says that this book is an action-packed post-apocalyptic thriller, and he does mean action-packed. So right from the first chapters, a lot of stuff was happening, and he was instantly hooked. And by the way, the book has over 1,000 5-star reviews on Amazon. So a lot of people really like it. And there's like 19 books in a series. So if you like this kind of stuff, you know, you're set for life. So the story is told from the first-person perspective. The main character is John Chase, and he's on a routine business trip and flying to Atlanta. He lands at the airport. He sees the cops are everywhere, but internet and the phone lines are down, so he can't get any news about what's going on. He checks into his hotel and goes to his office, where he does have internet, but he still can't find anything out. And the next day, when he wakes up, he finds one working news channel on the TV, and it turns out that New York City has been destroyed by a nuclear bomb. A bunch of other cities have been bombed, and pretty much every major city has been sprayed by a nerve agent that's turning people into zombies. And then power goes out in his room. So all this happens pretty quickly. Alex says he definitely plans to finish the book, and he expects the whole book will be fast-paced, and there should be a lot of crazy adventures, and he doesn't want to miss them. Next, we have Druid Magic by C.S. Churton, the first of 3 books in the Druid Academy, which is a young adult academy fantasy series. The other books are $4 each, but they're both in Kindle Unlimited. And ROMEL read this one. ROMEL, what did you think of this book?
I actually enjoyed it when I started reading it. It's a traditional magic book written for young adults, and it's pretty well written, fast-paced. I would continue with it in the future. It follows the trope of something like Percy Jackson or a Harry Potter novel, and I think someone who's into the genre would be interested in following into it.
So the protagonist starts the story by so is she in high school?
The protagonist is a college, ex-high school person. She's finished high school. She's applying to college. She gets rejected by a major university, and then she got a letter inviting her to the Dragondale Academy of Druidic Magic, which everyone thinks is a hoax. And that's how we close the first chapter on a cliffhanger there.
All right.
I think we all know what will happen. She will accept.
It has to do with aliens, right?
yeah. Aliens.
It'd be Druidic aliens.
All right. Next we have Elemental Academy, another Academy book by D.K. Holmberg. This is the first of 3 books in the Elemental Academy fantasy series. The other books are $4 to $5 each, but they're all in Kindle Unlimited. So Holmberg is a frequent flyer on these lists. We've reviewed a bunch of their books and a bunch of their series. They've got a lot of epic fantasy series, and I remember enjoying a lot of them. And when I was reading the description of this book, it sounded really, really familiar to me. Like I've already read it, but I don't think I own a copy of the book. So maybe it's just a familiar story. Christina Brown read this one, and she says that this is a 3-book set. And the first book, The Fire Within, starts with Tolan, who's a carpenter's apprentice without any magic. In this world, people have magical powers are called elemental powers, and he doesn't have any. So he knows he's going to lead a simple but comfortable life, and he's happy with that. The people who have the power of the elements have to have a special elemental bond to keep them from causing too much trouble. Then a rogue elemental wreaks havoc on the forest, and inquisitors from the academy come to question people. And it seems that Tolan is able to sense this elemental in ways that others can't. Maybe he has more ability than he thought. So Christina says it's a fun read, but it doesn't really stand out from other fantasies of this type she's read. But it does have a kind of a Lord of the Rings / Harry Potter kind of feel. And if people like something like that, an academy book set in a magical fantasy world, then you might like this. Next, we have New Alliance by Nathan Hystad, another of those Alien Invasion series books. This is book 7 of 21. So again, Alex didn't read this one. He read that first book, which I mentioned to you, and he just gave some more background information about the author instead. He has a lot of books on Amazon. He's got plenty of series, and he's got mostly alien invasion books, but he also has some thrillers as well. And the next book is also one of the books in a series, The Gatekeepers by Nathan Hystad. He says that the author has had hundreds of thousands of books sold and over 30 novels total. And we reviewed one of his books, Lost Contact, this past August. So he's been on this list before too. And we've also reviewed a couple of other of his books. Then the next book is also one of his books. And from the cover, it looks like the action is moving into space somewhere. And Alex didn't peek ahead at the description or anything, but I did. And yes, I can tell you the action does move off into space. So it turns into a space opera adventure kind of thing. So that's something that I very much look forward to because I love that kind of thing. So, and all the books are in Kindle Unlimited too. So even the ones that are 99 cents, I can still read for free. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. Then book number 3 on today's list was Broken Chains by Demelza Carlton. Demelza Carlton is another author who shows up on this list all the time. So this particular book is the first of 3 books in the Heart of Stone urban fantasy series. The other books are $5 to $6 each, and they're not in Kindle Unlimited. And we previously reviewed this book in July. We've also reviewed a whole bunch of her other books. She does a lot of paranormal romance. She does a lot of fantasy, a lot of retellings of classic fairy tales, just so much. So Amira Lutfi read this one, and she says that this book is a fast and easy read. The protagonist is a wimpy grad student who doesn't know what to study, and there wasn't like much magic in the opening scene. But then the perspective switches to a mysterious creature that's been buried for years. And the creature knows that when it's time to awaken, there will come a call. So Amira doesn't know what that means yet, but the mysterious creature does wake up. It's not a call, it's rocks moving around. So he decides to wait. Then one night, a stranger is chasing this grad student, accusing her of theft. She runs and cries for help. And then the mysterious creature hears it and comes bursting through the rock to save her. Amira says the book is all right, but it's just not for her. And look who came to say hello. Look, that's Callie.
Kitty! Hey, Kitty.
All right. Next, we have a book that Terrence read, Ruins of Issalia by Jeffrey Kohanek, the complete 3-book box set of the Ruins of the Issalia epic fantasy series, includes book 1, 2, and 3, plus Icon, a story of the aftermath. And the author has also been on this list before. And Terrence, what did you think of this book?
Well, first off, this book is a young adult fantasy, like ROMEL, the Magic Academy type of story. Basically, this teenager lives with his father, who is a tanner, and they don't see eye to eye, and his ailing aunt, and the kid already lost his mom, and so his dad has emotionally walled himself off from his son and just buried himself in his work. So basically, one of the big reasons the kid decided to go to this school in the first place is because he's what is called unchosen, which is basically the lowest of the low in the caste system of this fantasy setting. They live in the city of Kantar, where people have different runes on their forehead depending on what occupations they have. And basically, he is on the lowest tier, essentially, which, of course, I just said. Well, anyway, this is very well written. I love the imagery of the story, including the town just being covered in this mist at night, just faintly illuminated by these blue lights in the street, and it has like all that good fantasy imagery that a lot of the Rings fans are into. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's definitely worth the read.
Are you planning to stick with it?
There's a definite possibility. Well, of course, I have 10,000 other books I need to be reading.
All right. So, and now we come to the number 1 book on today's list, Broken Ascension by Dave Walsh. The first of 6 books in the Tristero space opera series. The other books are $5 each, but they're not in Kindle Unlimited. The 6th book isn't out yet. It's going to be released at the end of this month, but you can pre-order it. Melody Friedenthal, our editor, read this. And it starts out on a salvage freighter, Tristero, out in space. And the crew members find a derelict Graal ship, which is supposed to be self-healing. And these Graals breathe the same air as humans, but they have green blood. So she says they sound a little bit like Vulcans. But all of these aliens have been shot and are dead, except one guy who's been stabbed and is barely hanging on to life. So the humans find that this injured Graal is pointing frantically to something, and it's a tube. And they bring the tube and the injured alien back to their ship, and they open up the tube, and they discover a Graal baby in it, which they name Bruce.
Not Baby Yoda?
No, they name him Bruce. And so she likes the premise. The plot's interesting, even though the motley crew looking for salvage in space is a pretty common theme in space operas. She liked the way Joss Whedon did it in Firefly a little bit better. And the captain lets people vote on important decisions. And she says, what kind of captain does that? So the aliens, the humans have to figure out what to do with the alien baby. They try to give it to a human consul on the space station, but the consul doesn't want it. And then the rest of the Graal show up, and there's an attack, and my cat's trying to
Again, Kitty.
attack my computer. And so they get the attack, and our poor ship is in the middle of all this anyway. So Melody says she likes the idea of a story around an alien baby, and these days, who doesn't? Like you said. But this particular story wasn't holding her interest, so she's not going to read any further. But I am personally going to go and check it out, and I've already picked up a copy of this book. So there you go. Those were our top 10 free science fiction and fantasy books. I want to thank our Patreon supporters, Mary Stoll, Alexander KOROLOV, Avery Parks, James Cato, Terrence Smith. Thanks, Terrence. And everyone else, including Melody Preenanthal. Thank you, Melody, who supports MetaStellar, our channel, and our publication. We love you guys. We also have MetaStellar merch for sale. All that stuff is in the description box below. If you don't want to miss any of these Free Friday videos, subscribe, hit the alert button. That way you get all the books on Friday afternoon, exactly when you need to see them for your weekend reading. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, ROMEL. Thanks, Terrence, for joining us. We'll see you guys next Friday.
Okay, thanks very much.
Bye-bye. Live long and prosper.
Bye-bye.